Hello, my name is Andy Hancock. I'm a Global Vice President of the Center of Excellence here at SAP. In today's short session, I'm going to really talk about how we keep pace with new technologies that enable Industry 4, and then what it really means to the performance of your organization. So, as businesses are becoming more dependent on each other than ever before, there has been an element of complexity that's been brought into the supply chain in order to maintain, product availability, growth in sales, and reduction in costs. As you can see on the left-hand side, there are various players within your supply chain that make sure that all of those run smoothly. But what we've seen is that strength of complexity is also a vulnerability. So when we were looking at strategies that were intended to grow businesses and reduce costs across the board, they've actually stalled growth and exposed risks, whether or not that is through consolidation of suppliers, the outsourcing or offshoring of manufacturing, having a preferred logistics provider, and looking at that exception of expediting shipping fees, or looking at, from an operation perspective, really a reactive service and maintenance of your assets. But when we look at it, what a resilient business really needs is that speed and flexibility that Industry 4 provides. From an agility, where it's looking at how do I sense the market and adapt to the dynamic changes that occur from within customer bases or competitive offerings. Looking at productivity, being able to deliver that high quality mass-produced product or that individualized product of one at faster times to market. Looking at connectivity, and I'm not really talking about IoT, I'm talking about connecting your business network and collaborating with your partners and suppliers in order to have the best product at the right time in the marketplace. And then, of course, sustainability, really being proactive in the way that you actively manage your environmental and community impact. If we dig into a little bit deeper of that, what does agility mean? Well, think about all of the areas within your organization that has a planning element, and really connecting those together and synchronizing your planning and execution so you can be dynamic. When we look at productivity, it's really inventing production and services, utilizing Industry 4 best practices, and enabling you to be efficient and cost-effective while still being innovative. Looking at the way that you interact with your ecosystem and redefining those collaborations. And then really sustainability, understanding from the beginning life cycle of a product to its grave, what is the sustainability impact that is occurring? Now, if we look at Industry 4, it is only part of the story where if we think about augmentation of operational technologies with IoT. And really what we need to look at too is the individual components of technology and how those join together in order to leverage Industry 4 best practices. If we start off with the digital twin, if we look at it, it's a physical machine in real space. There is then an opposite identical model in the virtual space that enables us to then collect information and connect the virtual and the real machine together. And this is where we can start to leveraging technologies like IoT sensors on board those machines, where more and more assets are really what we call digitally born. Technologies like 5G can help us put capabilities into areas that were not cost effective before. Think about predictive quality and the way that computer vision can help you look at the predictive quality element in real time. And the way that you do it is you can use 5G rather than running cable across an entire factory or production line. If we then step one layer up, we look at edge computing. So as we move more and more to the cloud, we're really looking at how do we connect the shop floor with enterprise organizations and business processes that are in the cloud. We look at the way that edge computing can both create that fast decision making, but then concatenate that data into an aggregate form to then send up that business relevant information to the top, where business decisions can be made. When we start to bring those together, I mean, how does edge computing, digital twin, 5G, IoT all connect together? That's really when we talk about the digital thread. And the digital thread really is how we connect everything together. Think about your organization from when a product is initially designed in the PLM system all the way out until it's in its customer environment. If you can connect every aspect of this together, you then get this amazing visibility across your enterprise. And you can start to become agile, be able to reinvent production, and look at consolidation of your suppliers if you can understand where information is coming from and raw materials. The way that SAP approaches it is that we really look about moving beyond the four walls of the factory around Industry 4 and look at combining manufacturing automation with enterprise business execution. And if we look at the three business priorities of centering on customers, looking at how we deliver an individualized product of one, how we provide the opportunity to reinvent production because we have that greater visibility and everything is connected together. This in turn brings us to the third value, which is really connecting the entire enterprise together. Information that is being collected on the shop floor can be passed up to the boardroom to make those informed decisions. And every layer in between then has greater visibility and is able to quickly react and be more proactive in the way that they manage their business. So let me give you a customer example of that's gone with SAP along the Industry 4 journey. This company is called the Smart Press Shop. It is a joint venture between Porsche and Schuler. And what it did was provide a automation capability on a greenfield site. It provided configuration from the machinery on the shop floor to the enterprise system that was in a cloud-first strategy. So you brought together ERP system and also the manufacturing execution systems of SAP into one digitalized production from start to finish. And with this greater visibility, they were able to understand the social and sustainable impact on their environment. So when we looked at it from an opportunities perspective, they were able to apply Industry 4 best principles right from the start. They were able to really minimize their IT infrastructure and the resources on site. They were able to monitor and look at the sustainability and environmental impact of the business as it grew and looked at creating a green source of energy for the plant itself. It looked at how did we build those business critical applications and do the integration, as I said before, between the shop floor, physical machines, and the cloud enterprise system that they had. All of this brought together was a complete 100% traceability of production from the raw materials to the finished product, and also enabled a 100% cloud-first strategy to be applied, where there is no paper at all in their production processes. So in summary, when we talk about end-to-end acceleration of your business and using Industry 4.0 strategies, it really is look at replacing your vulnerabilities in your processes and supply chain that will create risk and slow down with the confidence and speed it takes to growth. So I just want to leave you with what's happening and to follow on. So join us between November the 22nd and 24th to discover Industry 4.0 Blueprint for Digital Transformation. And thank you.